She seemed like just another grandmother. But the FBI called her the most sophisticated identity thief in American history. To her Phoenix neighbors, Patricia Montgomery was just another grandmother. She baked cookies for the local church fundraiser, tended her desert garden, and waved from her front porch each morning. But federal investigators would later discover that this 62-year-old woman had masterminded the largest identity theft operation in FBI history. For 8 years, Montgomery operated a sophisticated criminal empire from her modest suburban home. Using stolen Social Security numbers, birth certificates, and financial records, she systematically drained bank accounts across America. Her network of accomplices, recruited from nursing homes, community centers, and senior living facilities, helped process fraudulent credit applications and cash stolen checks. The scope was staggering. According to federal prosecutors, Montgomery's operation victimized over 18,000 Americans, stealing $127 from retirees, families, and small businesses. Elderly victims lost their life savings. Young families found their credit destroyed. Small business owners watched their accounts emptied overnight. By 2018, the FBI's Phoenix field office had traced the conspiracy directly to Montgomery's door. Court documents revealed she had used 340 different stolen identities, operated 89 fraudulent bank accounts, and coordinated with criminal networks in 12 states. Special Agent David Hernandez, who led the investigation, would later testify that Montgomery showed an unprecedented level of sophistication and callousness in her criminal enterprise. Federal authorities prepared arrest warrants on 47 counts of identity theft, wire fraud, and money laundering. Each charge carried a potential sentence of up to 20 years in federal prison. But when FBI agents arrived at Montgomery's Phoenix home on March 15, 2018, they found only empty rooms and the lingering smell of burned paper. The grandmother had vanished. Patricia Montgomery's disappearance was as calculated as her crimes. Federal agents discovered she had liquidated her assets weeks before the planned arrests, converting everything to untraceable cryptocurrency and cash. Her Phoenix home contained nothing but furniture. Every document, computer, and piece of evidence had been methodically destroyed. The FBI's initial search revealed Montgomery's sophisticated escape plan. Security footage from Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport showed her boarding a flight to Mexico City on March 10th, 5 days before the raid. She had traveled under the name Maria Santos, using one of dozens of false identities her network had created. Special Agent Hernandez assembled a 12-person task force dedicated solely to finding Montgomery. They coordinated with Mexican authorities, traced financial transactions, and followed every lead. Early intelligence suggested Montgomery had connections throughout Latin America, built during years of laundering stolen money through international banks. For 6 months, the hunt intensified. FBI agents tracked Montgomery's trail through Mexico City, then south to Guadalajara. Witnesses reported seeing an elderly American woman matching her description at high-end hotels and exclusive restaurants. But each lead evaporated upon investigation. The breakthrough seemed to come in September 2018, when Mexican police arrested a woman matching Montgomery's description in Puerto Vallarta. The FBI rushed agents to the scene, only to discover they had apprehended a retired American tourist with no connection to the case. By early 2019, the trail had gone completely cold. Montgomery's sophisticated network had provided her with new identities, financial resources, and safe houses across multiple countries. She had effectively vanished into thin air, taking with her the secrets of a $127 million criminal empire. The FBI's most wanted list gained a new name: Patricia Montgomery, identity thief. The FBI deployed unprecedented resources in their hunt for Patricia Montgomery. The task force expanded to include Interpol agents, financial crimes specialists, and technology experts. Over $2.80 million was allocated to the international manhunt, making it one of the Bureau's most expensive fugitive operations. Agent Hernandez coordinated with law enforcement agencies across 14 countries. Montgomery's face appeared on wanted posters from Mexico to Argentina. The FBI offered a $100,000 reward for information leading to her capture, and victim advocacy groups amplified the search through social media campaigns. Years passed with tantalizing near misses. In 2020, facial recognition software flagged Montgomery at a luxury resort in Panama City. By the time Panamanian authorities arrived, she had checked out hours earlier, leaving behind only a fake passport and designer clothing. 8 months later, Guatemalan police received a tip about an elderly American woman living under suspicious circumstances in Antigua. The raid on the colonial mansion yielded evidence Montgomery had been there. Prescription bottles with her real name, discarded mail, but she had vanished again. The investigation revealed Montgomery's systematic approach to staying hidden. She changed locations every few months, used encrypted communications, and maintained multiple escape routes. Financial analysis showed she accessed her stolen funds through a complex network of cryptocurrency exchanges and international banks. Frustration mounted within the FBI. 3 years had passed since Montgomery's escape, and she seemed to anticipate every move. Special Agent Hernandez later admitted the team sometimes felt they were chasing a ghost. She had turned identity theft into an art form, Hernandez recalled. Every time we got close, Patricia Montgomery became someone else. But the FBI never wavered in their pursuit. In 2021, Montgomery was added to the Bureau's 10 most wanted list, bringing renewed attention and resources to the case. On January 18, 2023, everything changed. A security camera at Banco Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica, captured footage of an elderly woman making a large cash withdrawal. The transaction seemed routine, until facial recognition technology flagged the woman as a potential match for Patricia Montgomery. FBI analysts in Phoenix received the alert within hours. Agent Hernandez studied the grainy footage frame by frame. The woman wore expensive sunglasses and a wide-brimmed hat, but her distinctive gait and facial bone structure were unmistakable. After nearly 5 years, they had found their fugitive. We had learned not to get our hopes up, Hernandez later testified. But this felt different. The facial recognition confidence level was 94%, the highest we'd ever seen for Montgomery. The FBI immediately coordinated with Costa Rican authorities. The Organismo de Investigación Judicial, Costa Rica's investigative police, agreed to provide surveillance support while maintaining absolute secrecy. Any leak could send Montgomery underground again. Within 48 hours, a joint surveillance team was in position around San Jose. They monitored banks, luxury hotels, and upscale shopping districts where Montgomery might surface. The waiting game began. 4 days later, surveillance cameras captured Montgomery again, this time entering an exclusive beachfront compound in Manuel Antonio, a luxury resort town popular with wealthy Americans. Property records showed the compound was owned by a shell company traced to cryptocurrency transaction Montgomery's pattern. Federal agents watched the compound for 2 weeks, documenting Montgomery's routine. She left the property only twice, both times for banking transactions in downtown Manuel Antonio. She appeared to be living under the identity of Catherine Walsh, a widow from Delaware. The net was closing. On February 2, 2023, Agent Hernandez boarded a plane to Costa Rica with an 8-person tactical team. After 1785 days on the run, Patricia Montgomery's luck was about to end. At dawn on February 8, 2023, Costa Rican tactical officers surrounded the Manuel Antonio compound. FBI agents Hernandez and Johnson waited at the perimeter as local authorities executed the arrest warrant. Inside the luxury beachfront home, Patricia Montgomery was having her morning coffee. The raid was swift and anticlimactic. Officers found Montgomery in the kitchen, wearing a silk robe and reading news on her tablet. She offered no resistance, calmly setting down her coffee cup as officers announced her arrest. "I've been expecting you," she reportedly told Agent Hernandez. Inside the compound, investigators discovered evidence of Montgomery's 5-year flight from justice. Multiple passports bore different names and photos. Bank documents showed she had accessed millions in stolen funds through cryptocurrency exchanges. A sophisticated computer setup revealed she had continued identity theft operations, even while hiding in Costa Rica. Montgomery's extradition battle lasted 4 months. Her expensive legal team argued she should face trial in Costa Rica, claiming the FBI had no jurisdiction over crimes committed on foreign soil. But federal prosecutors demonstrated that Montgomery's original crimes occurred on American soil, and her flight to avoid prosecution warranted extradition. On June 15, 2023, U.S. Marshals escorted a shackled Patricia Montgomery off a plane at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, the same airport where she had begun her escape 5 years earlier. Local news crews captured the moment as the grandmother who had stolen from 18,000 Americans was finally brought to justice. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Federal prosecutors presented overwhelming evidence of Montgomery's criminal empire, including testimony from dozens of victims whose lives had been devastated by her crimes. On September 22, 2023, a Phoenix jury convicted Montgomery on all 47 federal charges. U.S. District Judge Sarah Chen sentenced Montgomery to 35 years in federal prison, without possibility of parole. "Your crimes were not victimless," Judge Chen declared. "You destroyed lives for personal gain, showing no remorse for the suffering you caused." Today, Patricia Montgomery, 67th, serves her sentence at ADX Florence, the federal supermax prison in Colorado. The FBI has recovered $73 of the stolen funds, providing some restitution to victims. Special Agent Hernandez, now retired, considers Montgomery's capture the defining case of his career. Justice delayed, but never denied.